Welcome to LightHouse KinShip's devotional video. The way out is through. Peter, Mark chapter 4, verses 35 TLB. As evening fell, Jesus said to his disciples, "Let's cross to the other side of the lake."
Isaiah 43, verse 2:8 TLB. When you go through deep waters and great trouble, I will be with you. Today is Monday, February 27th, 2023. Monica and I are here at the Tralita Falls at our favorite state park in Georgia, Vogel State Park, Blairsville, Georgia.
Many of the waterfalls Bobby and I have hiked to, we've had to cross a creek or two to continue on the path to the waterfall. Most of these creek crossings are narrow and shallow, but there have been a few that we were grateful for our waterproof hiking boots and our steady hiking pose. Mark chapter 4, verses 35 to 41, Jesus' disciples needed more than a waterproof boat and steady oars to continue to the other side.
Mark 4, verses 35 to 41 NLT. As evening came, Jesus said to his disciples, "Let's cross to the other side of the lake." So they took Jesus in the boat and started out, leaving the crowds behind, although other boats followed. But soon a fierce storm came up. High waves were breaking into the boat, and it began to fill with water. Jesus was sleeping at the back of the boat with his head on a cushion. The disciples woke him up, shouting, "Teacher, don't you care that we're going to drown?" When Jesus woke up, he rebuked the wind and said to the waves, "Silence, be still." Suddenly the wind stopped, and there was a great calm. Then he asked them, "Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith?" The disciples were absolutely terrified. "Who is this man?" they asked each other. "Even the wind and the waves obey him."
Just like Jesus' disciples, we have violent natural storms, thunderstorms, tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, ice storms, blizzards come into our lives. These natural storms bring extreme fear into our hearts, and we question God's presence and ability to protect us as the storm is breaking into our lives. When I was in my early teens, my mother and I were driving from our house to meet my sister and brother-in-law at the lake. A thunderstorm came up quickly, and it was raining buckets down on us as Mother was driving. Then all of a sudden, we were spinning around and around. Mother no longer had control of the car. Mother screamed out, "Lord, help us!" Then suddenly we came to a complete stop on the other side of the road. Jesus brought us through that thunderstorm quickly and safely. But what about the storms of the heart? The deep waters and troubled waters of the heart?
Luke 22, verses 31 to 34 NLT. "Simon, Simon, Satan has asked to sift each of you like wheat. But I have pleaded in prayer for you, Simon, that your faith should not fail. So when you have repented and turned to me again, strengthen your brothers." Peter said, "Lord, I'm ready to go to prison with you and even to die with you." But Jesus said, "Peter, let me tell you something. Before the rooster crows tomorrow morning, you will deny 3 times that you even know me."
Are you or a loved one like Simon Peter in the tight, slimy grip of Satan, being squeezed tighter and tighter to walk the path of selfishness, pride, disrespect, dishonor, fear, and doubt? When circumstances and situations bring unbearable pain, grief, despair, and darkness into our hearts, we, like Peter, look outward and inward and stop looking upward. Peter allowed his current storm to blind him to God's presence and God's sovereignty, instead of remembering and claiming the way out is through.
Psalm 119, verse 130, Amplified. "The unfolding of your glorious words give light. Their unfolding gives understanding to the simple, childlike." Luke 22, verse 60 to 62 NLT. But Peter said, "Man, I don't know what you're talking about." And immediately, while he was still speaking, the rooster crowed. At that moment the Lord turned and looked at Peter. Suddenly the Lord's words flashed through Peter's mind. Before the rooster crows tomorrow morning, you will deny 3 times that you even know me. And Peter left the courtyard, weeping bitterly.
This concludes our devotional video of Lighthouse Kinship. The way out is through Peter. John chapter 21, verses 1, 15 to 17, NLT. Later, Jesus appeared again to the disciples beside the Sea of Galilee. This is how it happened. After breakfast, Jesus asked Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" "Yes, Lord," Peter replied. "You know I love you." "Then feed my lambs," Jesus told him. Jesus repeated the question, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" "Yes, Lord," Peter said. "You know I love you." "Then take care of my sheep," Jesus said. A third time he asked him, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter was hurt that Jesus asked the question a third time. He said, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." Jesus said, "Then feed my sheep."
Monica and I thank you for traveling along with us here today at Wolf Creek from Campsite 64 and also from the Trolita Lake Pavilion at Bogle State Park, Blairsville, Georgia. Come along and journey with us by subscribing to our channel. Hit that little notification bell so that you won't miss our next stop. And please give us a thumbs up and help us spread the gospel by sharing these videos on your social media platforms. Thank you for leaving your comments below on how these devotions are helping you and also your prayer requests so that we know how to pray for you.